And that's why I think it's difficult for me to even really explain what I'm saying, because
How do you explain?
you can't explain it. And but what I know is that I know that God desires to tell you about you before he wants to tell you about anything else. But we generally don't stop and listen and get along to hear about us. We want to hear about, my job, and we want to hear about my children, and we want to hear about our relationships, and we want to hear about our opportunities, and he needs to talk to you about you. And I'm not just talking about how you need to correct this and correct that. I'm talking about letting him pour in value. And like I said a minute ago, that's what changed my life. When God began to deposit a value system in me that I had never really known before about myself, it electrified my life. That's been, 16 years ago now, I guess, since I had that 16 years ago now since I had that conversation with God. And I get chills about it now, because I had never had anybody talk to me the way that God talked to me that day about me. You know what I'm saying? I had never had anybody
I know.
tell me how incredible I was and how much faith he had in me.
Yeah.
For God to tell him how much faith and trust he had in me to carry something out, that's what gave when God. And he used the language, and I'm not going to go into it all, but he brought up some of my past and things like that. And when he told me that the reason that some of the things that I've permitted for you to go through is because I trusted your back to carry it, and it would have broken somebody else's.
Yeah.
That right there, because God found that kind of value in me, that he trusted me. He trusted me to be that strong. And then from there, that would catapult my life. I got chills right now. It changed my life.
It's bringing back me to a time just like that. And here's the best thing about that for me in my life. That one moment that happened, for me, it was around 2-3 years ago, secluded area, in one of the worst parts of probably my life. Not the worst, but it was a time where I was just like,
that's where I was at.
You know what I'm saying? So confused. Here's the greatest thing that I'm so thankful about that. And again, it was so much confirmation. It sounded just like that. Like, I had faith in you, and all that's for a reason. And then it was the big future part where I was like, me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the greatest thing about that, dude, is that whenever, it's been 2 years since then, but whenever I start going through some crap and some stuff, I'm like, well, God would have never told me that if he didn't already know I was going to go through. And I can, that's my foundation I get to sit on and be like, well, you know what? He already knew I was going to go through this.
What I compare that to is that was when Jesus met with a Samaritan woman at the well, and he said, you come to draw water from this well that you'll thirst again, but I'll give you the water that you'll never thirst. And he talked to her about her past, and then created a value in her and gave her something that would now catapult her future.
That was that living water.
It was a living water.
That's what she can always go right back
that
to.
That was my well. That I'm talking about in a lone moment. It's a well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just a Gethsemane garden of prayer. I'm talking about a well.
A well where you're in your most defeated point. You get to go back to I
go back to that well. It literally is what refreshes me from the remainder of my life. That's the well I draw from. I can go back at any point that I'm down or frustrated or confused, or people are down about me, or they complaining about how I lead or how I preach or whatever it may be. You know, and I can get down on myself, whatever. I can go back to that well,
dude. And it's such a blessing, man. It's such a blessing to get that moment with God where he just deposits in you, because it literally is that will. I mean, I know you felt like this, and I felt like maybe I'm not supposed to do this, or maybe this really, man, I just give up. And you're like, well, God knows everything, and it's not like just going back and reading the Bible verse that says, I created you to be the head, not the tail. It's you can read all that, and then there's still a part of you be like, no, but when you hear God tell it to you himself about your stuff, it's just like, I can't not believe it.
Yeah.
I have to. So that makes so much sense. So prayer and spending that alone time with God is fundamental to our walk with Jesus, because there's going to be moments where you're going to get thirsty, and you're going to need something to.
Everybody has a well moment. Everybody has a well opportunity. Not everybody has a well moment. Everybody has a well opportunity. If you've never had that well opportunity, God literally is here's what happened. Oh, man, God, I could preach this now. Jesus, that day that he met that Samaritan woman, sent his disciples. They were headed a different direction. He sent them on ahead, and he detoured.
Yeah, that is right. That's
because
right.
She was ready for a well moment.
Yeah.
She was coming to the well.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he's ready. The opportunity for a well moment is always there, and he's looking for somebody that will come to it. And he says, "Okay, I'll detour today. This is the plan, but today is the well. That's their well day. Today is it. They're coming to draw, and I'm going to give them something they never even imagined they could draw." And so everybody has a well opportunity, but not everybody has a well moment, and you need that. You need that.